Hey, this is Mick from NoFnews.com. This is more of a 3-in-1 tutorial. It'll show you how to add zip cords and zip hooks, and how to move objects, and last, how to add a safety net brush to where areas where when you jump down from something, it's too far and it should hurt the player, but the safety net prevents any kind of damage happening to that player. So let's get into it. We need to add a zip hook prop up here. I've already added a pillar to an extra long version of the, or extra tall version of the basic map that we originally did in the first tutorial. So I'm going to move my marker out a little bit on top of this pillar that I've already added and add an object. I'm going to add a prop, zip hook. There. This object now here represents a zip hook in the level. But we can't have it sitting out there all by itself. I'm going to move this marker all the way because I don't need it right this second. And I'm going to move this closer to the wall. I need to change my grid setting to something smaller. Now it's set for 8 units per grid. I use the M key now to move it closer and drag the mouse. There, I just moved it closer to the wall. Now the blue line in one of the other tutorials, I showed you how the blue line dictates where the object is pointing. Right now, the metal would be right here and the hook would be aiming out this way. I need to rotate that, so I'm going to click its properties and change its rotation. To aim out that way. There. Now it's aiming in the correct direction. Notice how I buried 8 units in the wall. That's usually the best way to do it. For some reason, the object has a little space behind it. You'll find it when you start moving this around, but the object looks better if it's buried into the wall just a little bit. The next thing you need to add is a weapon that will carry this. The weapon, the zip cord. So I'm going to move the marker back towards the floor and add the weapon. Go ahead and roll down the list, and the only thing you need to change is the weapon type. Go ahead and change it to zip cord. Then you don't need to change ammo amount, you can leave it at -1. And that's it. Go ahead and unmark it. There, now you've got your zip hook, your zip cord, and the object has been moved in the proper position. The next thing to do in that pillar, once you get up here, the problem is getting down. That's a long fall, and that would definitely hurt the player. Next thing I'm going to do is add a brush in here that's a safety net. I'm going to pull my invisible texture, my Swiss Army knife textures, invisible. And I'm going to cover the whole bottom area around that pillar. And make it 128 thick. There it is. And it's still highlighted. I'm going to move my marker somewhere in the corner of the box, touching it. And I'm going to bind this to a volume brush called a safety net. There, that's all that needs to be done is that. Now it's set as a safety net. So if the player ever jumps down there, the player won't get hurt. And that's a pretty good thing if you got long pillars and that person has to zip up to it, and then when they need to get down, that's a really good way to get down instead of killing yourself. And kind of defeat the purpose of getting up there. So I hope this tutorial helped you with the zip cords and object movement and safety net placement. So this is Mick at NoFnews.com.